Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 329 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast, brought to you by Derek Bamford. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, except for last week and 2 weeks before that as well, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen to us on audio services, that's cool too. Just hit the shit, I don't know. I started thinking, hit the thumbs up button, 5-star review, or whatever your service allows. I got there eventually.
We did. We got there.
If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where we have a lot of different benefits, but the most popular tier is the $5 producer tier, which lets you watch us record the podcast live on YouTube, as we are doing right now, as well as getting a bonus episode every month. Shit! And getting the podcast live one day early.
Would you say those are the tiers of the podcast?
Some of our patrons deserve a shout out. Did you go back to it or something?
No.
Okay. Just like our patron saints, Derek Bamford and John Tingley, who has a bar named after him now. As well as our affiliates, James Solar. Make sure you check out James Games and More on YouTube. Sarah Solar and Mom. As well as our producers, Steve Appleton, Antsu, Dustin Downs, and Chris Peralta. Make sure you check out PS Rewind on YouTube as well. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2Player Co-op. So, we were off last week because I was out of town. Town. We went to the St. Louis. By the way, shout out to Logan if you're watching. Congrats on the engagement. That's awesome. Did you see that? I saw it on Instagram.
I was going to say, I haven't been on X much lately.
Are people really going to call it that?
No.
And you're going to send X's?
They're called Zeets. I don't even know if that's a joke.
Xeet? Motherfucker.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Like, if you just want to make it the logo, okay, whatever. I'm going to miss the
call
bird.
It Twitter.
But no one's not going to call it Twitter and tweets.
Right.
It's like, I was texting Rasan and Jim the other day. It's like, I almost wonder if Elon was just like, I'm just going to throw away $44 billion because for some reason I just hate Twitter. I'm going to burn it down from the inside. Kind of like what that friggin' Marvel secret agent Joss Whedon did when he came in and made Josstice League and was like, the hell with the DCEU. I'm going to burn this shit to the ground. And he did.
They never recovered.
X is going to.
Did you ever see Flash?
No.
Is it on HBO yet?
Not yet.
I want to, but
it's not going to make as much. It hasn't even hit. Last time I checked, like over the weekend, it hadn't even hit 300 million worldwide. And this thing had like a budget of 250 million, and you always have to at least double, if not triple that, to break even and then start making money.
I don't understand why you have to double it to make money.
Because it's something like the. Because of
like, does the budget not include like?
A lot of times it doesn't include marketing, but also that's the total box office. That's the money it made. You got to give 70% or whatever. It's like buying games on PSN or Xbox or Steam.
Yeah.
Sony gets 30%. The developer gets 70%. Whatever it is. So that's why it's not the same. But it's going to end its U.S. run making less, not adjusted for inflation, less than Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds.
That's awful.
Yeah. But what did they expect? You got James Gunn killing the DCEU and starting over, and I guess this was
right. They basically said, "Yeah, I don't know. Is this starting it over, or is
You've
this
still got Aquaman 2 coming? Who cares?
That's going to get less than the Flash.
It's a bigger name.
I could not. I was at least interested in the Flash. I just never got around to seeing it.
And Keaton Fleck.
I could not. Keaton Fleck. I could not care less about Aquaman. Like. I didn't really like the first one. It now means absolutely nothing.
I think he's sticking around though.
I'm just,
or maybe not. I don't know. But I remember talking myself into Aquaman 1 being a really good movie. When I look back, I've only watched it once, and I don't need to watch it again. It was fine. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful, yeah.
But so is Avatar. Avatar was more beautiful. Don't get it twisted.
Beautifuler.
More beautifuler and belderer. The hell are we talking about? Oh yeah, so the Flash. Oh yeah, no, we were gone last week. I went to the St. Louis. Oh, I said St. Louis. It made me think of Logan, and you said you're not on X anymore, and we're here now.
Well, and then we started talking about Elon. Then we started talking about Joss Whedon,
and then Flash. I'm going to call this segment just St. Louis to Logan.
Louis.
To this, to that. Anyways, I was in St. Louis with the family. We went to Six Flags. One day at Six Flags, one day at the water park at Six Flags. So much fun. I had my best freaking Apple Watch day ever at the water park. And we didn't even get there until like 11 or 12, and it's only open until 6. Is that like the Six Flags water park?
Yeah,
it's at Six Flags, but it's separate. It's on the same
grounds.
Yes. Hold on. Let me see what my day was, because I got to brag on myself. Oh, yeah. Okay. My move goal was 600 calories, but I got 1,042. Exercise goal, 30 minutes. I got 78 minutes. They're like, you set a record. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure I've like lied about exercising before and got more than that, but I guess not. And I stood for 16 out of 24 hours. I got 15,352 steps and moved 6.8 miles.
Dang.
Yeah. And by the time I took that screenshot at 11:42 at night. And I was like, I can't get any more steps. But it was a lot of fun. I had not been on roller coasters, my God, since like college when we went to Darien Lake, I think.
Yeah.
And Superman there, I don't even know if I think it's still there, but I don't think it's called Superman anymore.
They changed it to Bizarro at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
It was awesome. Fastest roller coaster I'd ever been on. But this was a lot of fun. We also did the City Museum. We got to watch a Cardinals game. They won it with a walk-off 2-run homer, which was freaking awesome. Or was it a 3-run? I think it was a 3-run homer. Nick, my 13-year-old, called it. He's like, I'm going to start videotaping because I'm pretty sure he's going to end this with a home run. I was like, you son of a... Because he kept going throughout the game, dude, I just called that. I called that. Well, not really. And then I'm like, dude, you actually called that. You were like, he's going to hit a 3-run homer. I'm going to get this on video. And then he got it on video, and it was awesome. But it was good to get away, good to not work for a week. Oh, yeah. My day back from vacation, first day back, started at 7 a.m., and I'll tell you, it's not bad, but it was major change coming that I was not prepared for at 7 in the morning when I was just starting to drink my coffee. So I'll tell about you off that.
Not on the podcast.
Offline, off air.
Okay. I, too, had a day on my feet yesterday.
Oh, did you go to the concert?
I went to the concert.
That's why you sound like this.
Yeah.
Was this Newfound Glory or the other one?
The other one. Okay. This was... Let's see if I can do it. You're going to think some of these were made up. Cliff Diver. Stand Atlantic.
This is like Matchbox 20.
Mom Jeans.
See, all you do is put two... I mean, that's a real thing, but like you just put two words together and you have a band name.
Hot Mulligan. I should have made up one and said...
But you think it's
tell
so
me
easy,
which
but
one,
then it's not.
Yeah. Paris.
Solid Snake.
The main Motion City soundtrack, or like Machine Gun soundtrack, whatever you called it the other day. Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah.
Oh.
Why, do you know them?
Yeah. I know one of their songs. I really
Sticky?
liked it. I don't remember. I just remember the album cover. Like there was like a circle and it said the main.
Yeah, I don't know. And Taking Back Sunday. So I didn't really know what to expect, but this was a festival. This was Sad Summer Festival.
Womp womp.
And so, and there's 8 bands, but I'm like, I don't really know.
How many stages?
1.
Oh, so they were quick set lists.
Well, so it started at 2. We thought it started at 2. Gates opened at 2. It actually started at 2:30, but whatever. But in my head, I'm like doing the math. Oh, the early bands will probably only play like 20 minutes, 15 minutes in between. Maybe the last few will play for like 45 minutes or an hour. I'm like, it'll probably be done like 7-ish. We'll go back to the hotel, shower, because we'll be disgusting, then go out and get dinner. So we get there. We got like VIP passes and stuff. So we've got like our own nice inside private air-conditioned area, private bar, free water, free popcorn, private bathrooms, all this stuff. And I mean, we had pit tickets, but we had a nice little place we could get away to. So we go to the bar when we get there. We get a drink. Bartender, super cool. We're chatting with him, whatever. And he says, all right, guys, well, enjoy the show. Pace yourself. It's going to be a long day. We're like, yeah, when does this thing end? He said 10:30. And I'm like, oh, God. 8 hours of just music and just being on our feet. And it was a very...
And sweating your ass off.
And, yeah. Well, so, all things considered, it was only a high of, like, 87.
And this was Nashville?
Nashville. And we were in the pit, which was... It's kind of like South Haven. Like, the front is covered. And then you've got the seats and then the lawn. So we were undercover. So we were never in, like, direct sunlight other than being out to get food and merch and stuff. Very long day. And, like, my feet were killing me at the end.
Dogs were barking.
Whatever you would call the equivalent of trying to, like, make a fist, but with your feet. I couldn't do it. Like, my toes, like, wouldn't bend. My legs, I could, like, barely bend my legs. Like, they were just, like, locked in place. Yeah, I know I'm old.
Now I want to know what a foot fist is. Because a hand is a fist. What is a foot?
I was going to say a fist. Like, foot fist.
Or a hist,
maybe? A hist.
Sorry, I just all of a sudden I was trying to picture somebody making a fist with their foot, and then what we would call that.
But yeah, it was awesome, great show. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole. Oh, then so I don't know. Sometime on the way down there, over there, up there, technically.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think Brittany just randomly mentioned, like, "Hey, by the way, you're turning 40 next year." A, thanks. B, she said, you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to just do something just the two of us? Do you want to, like, get away? Do you want to do, like, a big fun, you know, like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, well, why don't you see if, like, Brent or Jason or whoever want to get together? I'm like, that's not a bad idea. I'm like, actually, yeah, duh, we're all turning 40 next year. So I text the group and I'm just like, hey, we're all turning 40. We haven't all gotten together in a while. Let's plan on something. And everybody was like, yeah, I'm in. So next year sometime, we're the four of us, me, Brent, Jason, Larry, Bucky, the Winter Soldier.
Is he still jacked? Or was he jacked?
He's I wouldn't say jacked, but he's in good shape, yeah.
But I mean, he was skinny little, like, toothpick back when I remember him.
Yeah. So we're doing Vegas next year.
Wow.
So I told Dad, and he's already like, oh my God. He's like, what was that movie? The Hangover? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've already thought this whole
Are the
thing
wives
out,
going?
No, just the husbands.
No, or just the boys. That was weird.
So yeah, we got that to look forward to.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Four
boys.
But yeah, so that was my weekend. Oh, you saw, as did I.
Oh my!
We the last podcast did Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible 2.
No spoilers. Don't worry.
No spoilers.
Even though apparently nobody's going to see it.
I don't understand. Yeah, I think it's like it's just barely hit 300 million. Like it had a good opening weekend,
and then it just dropped.
But then it's like Barbie came out and Oppenheimer came out, and I don't know. I thought especially coming off of Maverick last year, but then I was listening to some people talk about it, and they're like, you got to remember that, like, I think it was somebody at the Ringer I was listening to. Mission Impossible is like, we love it. We think it's awesome, and it's the stunts and everything, but it's still like a mid-tier franchise.
No, yeah. To me, I was thinking the same thing. It almost, up until Breath of the Wild, it's kind of like Zelda, or even like Metroid. Like,
yeah.
Great games, but doesn't necessarily sell well. But yeah, I figured it. I didn't think it would do $1 billion. But I'm like, it'd probably get close.
I think Fallout made $790, somewhere around there, and that's the most.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty high.
This isn't going to get near that.
No.
And I think the one before it, I always forget what order. Or it was Dead Reckoning. No, this was Dead Reckoning. It was Rogue Nation before Fallout, and I think that was around 680, and then I think Fallout beat it by like 100. I don't know why Fallout, other than I still say it's probably my favorite action movie of all time.
What's weird is I've only seen it one time. I've seen Ghost Protocol and I've seen Rogue Nation several times each. And Ghost Protocol, I think, is the one where they're
I watched a
Dubai
recap before I went to see it.
Okay, they're in Dubai. That's where he's like climbing on the outside of the building. I remember that part. Rogue Nation has like the underwater part.
That's got the water thing, yes.
This one, without any spoilers, has like the train,
the jump,
I'll say. Was there something in Fallout? I don't remember other than Cavill and the spontaneous beard growth and cocking his arms.
Well, I was going to say, I think that's another reason that like...
I'm like, I don't remember anything from that movie. I remember that I liked it. I just don't remember anything about it.
Henry Cavill, I think a lot of people went to see it because of him, too.
Probably, yeah.
Because that was the mustache that killed the DCU. The big one was the Halo jump. High altitude, low oxygen. Tom Cruise literally did a Halo jump over Paris. Like, he really jumped out.
Huh.
Now, Henry Cavill did not. He was like,
I ain't doing that.
But the big stunt, so he really jumped out. If you remember, there's a thunderstorm. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I don't care.
There's a thunderstorm, and maybe you'll remember when I said there's a thunderstorm, there's lightning all around.
I mean, that kind of sounds familiar.
Cavill gets hit by lightning. He's unconscious. And they have to deploy their chutes really
and then he
low.
turns into Superman.
No, he's like dead. And so Cruise goes down. He takes his oxygen off, puts it on him, takes it back, puts it on him, and then he's got to like get Henry around. And he
really did all that.
No, not that. But then he had to like deploy his thing and everything. It was awesome. I watched Mission Impossible 1 and 2. I need to go. So I watched like a 2-hour YouTube video that recapped everything about the movies. Like
3 was
the making of and everything.
3 was Seymour Hoffman, right?
People are really down on that movie. I thought it was awesome. Apparently because it was too grounded and everything. And that was right around the time that Tom Cruise started jumping on sofas.
Yeah, that was when he started being weird.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's still the best villain in this whole thing. Anyways.
Yeah.
This Fallout is still my favorite Mission Impossible. But I really liked this.
This might be my favorite. I remember it was like a week ago when I saw it, but like I remember when I watched it just thinking like I don't know how much I like this because I was so confused. And I guess that's the point. But I'm just like I don't know what's real, what's not. I was just like I don't know if I like this. But then everything kind of made sense as it went on. And then that part,
the last half hour is what sold the
last
movie.
like hour.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's got a crazy ending, but I think up to that it was still really good. I was just really confused, and I knew first thing I thought of was Metal Gear Solid 2.
It was straight up Metal Gear Solid.
So as soon as I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, well Kevin's gonna like this. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. It might be my favorite. I don't know. It might be. But even if it's not, I don't know what is. I love 4 and 5.
See, I've realized throughout all of this, I never saw 5. I don't know why.
Really?
I saw 4 because that was the Abu Dhabi, that was the climb and everything. I never saw him go underwater until I went and watched this big recap video that I did before I went to watch the movie. Yeah.
Huh.
But I want to go back and watch them all now. The only one I know sucks, 2. 2 is garbage.
Was that Chimera? Like Chimera
Yes.
virus or something? That's all I
All
remember.
the slow-mo, directed by John Woo. There's doves everywhere. Tom's hair is going like he's Aloy or something.
All I remember about 1 is the lasers when he's like...
There's no lasers.
He
just
there
can't-
are... Oh, yeah, he can't touch
It's
anything.
pressure sensitive.
That's right.
And he can't make any sound.
That's Mandela effect. Because in my mind...
You see the
there's
lasers.
But I guess there's not. Somebody actually just tweeted, Zeeted, whatever.
No one's going to do
They
this.
Zeeted.
Yeeted.
And I guess this is true. From Mission Impossible 1, there's this part, and it's like, that was old enough. It's not like it was the beginning of the internet by any means, but like, it was pretty early.
It was
in
like
the days of the
Netscape
internet.
era, yeah.
And they tweeted, Zeeted, I'm just assuming this is correct. Ethan is trying to find some, I don't know, drug dealer, arms dealer, something. And all he knows is that his name is Max, or that's like an alias, whatever. Yes. Oh, you remember this?
Yep. And I probably watched that 10 times.
And it's not done for like comedic effect. But looking back, it's just so stupid.
Oh
he's
God.
Like, he's on the computer.
Oh.
It's worse. He's on the computer and he's like, oh gosh, what can I do? How can I find this guy? And he goes to all he knows is that he goes by Max. So he just types in max.com.
So he went to HBO Max. Well,
it's just like, why? I don't know anything about it. Maybe he's got a website that's just his name. Let's try max.com. And I don't think they make a big deal about it. But if you look at the screen, what he's doing, you see that he goes to max.com. I don't know. So I do kind of want to go back and watch all of them now. But
or he could go to x.com. My God, that's amazing. It was really good. I cannot wait. The SAG after, like the writers and the actors strike scares me shitless that this movie's not actually going to come out next year. Now, I think they're done shooting it. Do we know that?
I thought they were, but I don't know.
I need to just Google this. I've been thinking about it this whole time. Dead Reckoning 2 filming. Let's see. They were reportedly being filmed simultaneously with production on the second part 1, the entity, blah, blah, blah. Looks like there's a chance the next mission will be delayed due to the current tumultuous state of the entertainment industry. Blah, blah, blah. Follow-up to Ethan is set for Friday, June 28, 2004. However, there's a strong possibility that the date could be pushed back. That's because production has been halted by the strike and won't be able to continue. So they're not saying it's...
Okay. It might be done filming.
They might be done filming, but they still got to do all the post-pro and all that stuff. But yeah. The thing that was confusing to me, the not the bad guy, but the Thing. Yeah. How did the Thing choose the bad guy? That's what I'm really confused.
The bad guy.
No, I know, but like it's like I choose you, Pikachu. Like why? And the retcon thing was kind of weird.
Who he is?
Yeah. And
I was trying to figure out, I'm like,
no,
is that really him, or they just... I didn't know if that was like...
They retconned it. That's never been mentioned before. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if that happened in the first one, or the way back when, and I had just forgotten, or what. So before this, we never have seen this guy.
No.
Okay. I wondered about that. I don't know. Maybe that'll be explained.
And that one thing I did not, even when they said one of you two, something's going to happen to you, I was like, no, it's not. And I was like, they're not going to do this. And
I kind of saw it coming.
I think I wouldn't let myself, I was in denial. I was like, this is not going to happen. I love that. I love that character.
Yeah.
And it's like kept going for the move that she always does.
Or he
or she kept blocking it that he or she was doing. And I was like, oh no. Because if that's not working, that's probably going to go. And then it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people think that it's a fake out. I'm like, well, then where was that character for the rest of the movie?
Yeah.
And then you cheapen stuff if you do that. Like, nah, I don't think so. So anyways, Mission Impossible 7, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is awesome.
Yep.
Can't wait for Part 2. I do wonder if that's, because they haven't said if that's like the end or if they're going to end up rebooting it. Tom Cruise can't, at some point he has to actually age. Yeah, but
I think it's it for Cruise.
It'll never be like the whole Jeremy Renner taking over thing. That ain't happening. I do wonder if now that hopefully, well, no, because I wonder if they shot it because he was still doing Hawkeye and stuff or whatever the TV show name was. I don't know. I wonder if he'll be back in Part 2 is all I'm saying.
Was he in Fallout?
He was not in Fallout. He was in 4 and in 5 a little bit.
I couldn't even remember if he was in 5. I knew he was in 4.
He was in 5, but he was more kind of like behind the scenes with Alec Baldwin and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I do think it's probably the end, at least for Cruise, and then Probably in 5 years they'll reboot it.
I just don't know how you reboot. It's not going to be anywhere near the. Talk about it being a mid-tier. It's going to be a low-tier franchise at that point. So, all right. Sean.
Yes.
What have you played over these last 2 weeks? By the way, how the hell did you do that?
So.
Because that shit happened quickly.
I played a lot of Rogue Legacy 2. Got the platinum.
How?
Okay. Hear me out.
No, I'm not doing it.
No, I don't expect you to.
Okay.
I'm just saying don't rush to judgment.
You cheated.
There is an easy mode. There's something called house rules, which you can turn on to like lower enemies' health or increase it if you really want to challenge, lower or increase.
I thought that killed all the trophies.
No. And so what it does, actually that's kind of separate. So you beat the game. You beat a run, and that's when you can go, and I think Hades was similar, where you can basically do new game plus, but you have to like increase, they call them burdens, where enemies have more health or more damage, or
your defense is
higher
or something, whatever,
evolved versions of them, or this or that,
got an email
whatever.
From Max.
And I think you would have to beat the game 7 times, because the way it's supposed to work, every time you beat the game, you unlock being able, I think, you unlock being able to turn on as a burden a super version of one of the bosses.
Ooh.
Or once you beat it once, you can just go down to the bottom and just say, unlock them all. And the game's like, are you sure you want to do that? Because this is a lot to take on all at once, and parts of the game will be sped up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. So you can turn them all on. So you end up having to beat the game, I think, 3 times. I think I beat it 4 times because I always screw something up. But I did beat it once and most of the way through a second time before I started messing with house rules to make it easy. It doesn't make it. It makes it easier for sure, but it's not like it's just you're invincible or anything. Yeah. But it's. I think you should definitely play it, and I think you should give it a try the way it is. And if you get frustrated, then go to easy mode and mess with some of the things. I would not recommend the platinum unless if you fall in love with the game. It's definitely a doable platinum. It's not that difficult, and it's not like Demon Souls where it's like you have to follow the strict set of things so you don't screw anything up. Like nothing is missable for the most part. But yeah, I absolutely love this game. That's basically all I played, and then I'm like, I could go back to Dark Souls, but I'm like, I'm already to the point where I don't know if I'm going to go back to it.
Oh, I forgot you. Yeah,
I stopped that when Final Fantasy came out. I'm sure at some point I'll be like, oh, I never finished that. I'll go back now. But I can't right now. So I'm looking for stuff to play. I'm looking through PS Plus, like whatever.
Because now there's nothing coming out until October. Well, September if you're playing which one.
Well, I got...
Oh, Blasphemous.
Blasphemous, too,
in about
next
an
month.
hour. Wow.
I gotta go home.
Breaking news. This is a stupid idiot.
So anyways, I'm looking through PS Plus, just trying to find something. And I came across Undertale. I'm like, this seems like a game I've missed out on. B, a game I would like. C, a nice, casual, can finally exhale.
Some people say it's their favorite RPG of all time and their favorite game of all time.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's very, I don't know, smart. Wasn't Nick playing it at one point?
He loves it. He's beaten it. He's basically on Xbox. He basically got the platinum, like 1,000.
I think I'm going to get the platinum. It seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah. You're gonna do a run where you kill everything, a run where you kill nothing.
Yeah, there's like a pacifist thing.
Stuff. Yeah.
It's very like smart. It's very well written. The music is good. I'd never know if I'm like doing things right. Like, and maybe it's just to introduce you to the whole pacifist versus killing everything run. But it's like if an enemy has a yellow name, that means you can spare them. And so you don't have to fight them. But if you do, I don't know if it's like, okay, nothing bad happens if you do, but you don't have to. You can spare them. But then if you're doing a pacifist run and you're fighting somebody that doesn't have a yellow name and you can't spare them, then what do you do? Because you have to. So I don't know. There's like parts of the game that I don't think I understand, but it's just very smart. Like some of the dialogue, I would say it almost reminds me of like The Messenger, which is kind of what I compare everything to when it's got good writing. Right. But like, it's stupid, but it's stuck in my mind. This guy, so you know the combat where you've got the heart and you're just like dodging things, and that's how you At one point, there's something that happens that basically, if anything, and you may know this from watching Nick play, but if there's any blue, I'll say projectiles, objects, whatever in there, as long as you're not moving, they'll pass through you and it doesn't hurt you.
Yes.
And so the guy that explains it to you at one point, he's like, "Oh, you may have noticed that when there's a blue thing, you want to stop. Don't move at all, just stop so that it will go right past you and it won't hurt you. And how are you going to remember that, you ask? Well, you've seen a stop sign, right? Stop signs are red. So just imagine a blue stop sign, and that'll tell you that you need to stop anytime you see something blue." And I'm like, okay, that was pretty funny.
It's like, where is this going?
So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm about halfway through. I don't think it's very long. It seems like a gettable platinum. From what I read, nothing's really missable. So I don't know. I'll probably get the platinum, and then I don't know until probably Blasphemous. I don't know what else to play in the meantime. So
didn't you say
I did add Alan Wake Remastered? I do want to play that at some point, but I'm like, I can't do that right now. I needed a nice cooldown game like this.
Yeah. Didn't you say? Didn't they say Blasphemous 2? What was that quote that you sent? Like it's more of a Metroidvania from the previews or something like that.
Supposedly, yeah. It looks identical to how I remember the first one looking, but yeah, it sounds like just I don't know if it's the platforming or just the size. I mean, the first game to me was very Metroidvania with just a little bit more
straight up,
Dark Souls, combat, but it was still very much a Metroidvania. So I don't know what is going to be different about this one that makes it more Metroidvania, but I don't know. I can't wait for it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've played, those two.
Well, I didn't get to play a lot because we had a friend visiting, and then obviously I was out of town all last week, so I really didn't get to play a lot. But I did beat Final Fantasy 16. Hi, can I help you?
Where's Mom?
She's at dinner still.
Still?
I know. I love you. Go. Stay inside.
Okay.
Shut the door. I was like, what is Sean? I was like, I think I heard the door open. And then Sean's like, hi. I'm like, oh God. Remember when that stupid head was over here staring at us?
That like Barbie head or whatever?
Barbie head, and it was just like, "Argh."
Where is that?
I think we threw it out.
Good.
Where was I? Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 16. I beat it. Wait, yeah, 16. I was like, wait, was it 17? I don't remember how far I was last time, but no spoilers still. This game was awesome. This game was so friggin' good. This, I'm not saying it's up there with like Metal Gear Solid 3 or The Last of Us when it comes to story, but I friggin' loved this story.
Mm-hmm.
It had heart. I think Clive is one of my favorite characters of the last 5-10 years. Like, I don't know why, but in the lead up to the release of the game, and I did go on like blackout from the trailers and stuff pretty much, and the preview events and everything. Clive was I thought he was going to be the opposite of what he is in this. I thought he was good, and maybe it's because I was thinking of Final Fantasy 15 and their, the pop, like the boy band and everything, and he was just going to be this cocky guy and he's whatever. He is just like a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And he cares so much about his friends and, and the world, and I just freaking love him as a character. This game...
Yeah, to me, I think he's like number 2 behind Cloud. And honestly, Zach's right there too, even though I don't know a whole lot about Zach at this point. But yeah, Clive's way up there.
The ending, like the last mission of this game, first off, it takes a while. There's a lot of exposition And usually when you hear that, you think it's a bad thing. I loved getting more backstory on what the hell was actually going on. And why, when this guy went into that guy, why is that guy still there? And, like, that made sense. It was so confusing the entire time. But I do think, like you had told me, I think they did a pretty good job explaining it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot. There's definitely some stuff that I missed. Like when I went back and watched like a YouTube video, I'm like, let me just make sure that I understand stuff. It explains some stuff that I missed, but I'm like, nah, that was right there. I should have gotten that. And everything that wasn't explicitly explained, it basically comes down to, well, it didn't really happen. It was just in his mind kind of thing. So
that's the thing. Well, still, the beginning of the game, I'm like, but still, why? I think it was just, at the end of the day, it was just denial. I think is what it was. I love the performances of everybody in this. Clive's actor has got to get nominated at the Game Awards. Yeah. And I think I said that last podcast, and now I'm saying it even more now. Like, just freaking nailed it. Jill was awesome. Supporting characters. Sid was awesome.
Sid's fantastic, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I know Sid.
What's his name?
Gav.
Gav. I like Gav a lot.
Oh. So I beat it. It's awesome. No spoilers. Friggin' love it. One of my favorite stories ever in a game. One of my favorite characters ever in a game. Fantastic. So then I was like, okay, I beat it. That was awesome. I start cleaning up trophies, doing the combat trophies, stuff like this. Get, as much as I can. Do the side quests. Get my renown up. I don't know why I said it like that.
My renown. Gotta get my renown.
My renown up and everything. Then, like, okay, I'm basically done. I'm at the point now where I've got 4 trophies to get. I've got to beat it on Final Fantasy mode. By the way, Final Fantasy, man, I was like, what does Leo do? What does Leo do? Whatever he does, I'm doing Leo. I was like, the thing. I got to beat Final Fantasy mode. I've got to do that one combat thing with freezing 3 enemies and then killing them. I gave up on doing it in my non-New Game Plus run because I've got Jill and the other character with me constantly, plus Torgal. I'm like, what? I get these dudes low on health, these like spiders, and I try to free, and then they're dead. I'm like, I can't. So I think I need to just I'll do that at some point when it's just me and Torgal in my New Game Plus run. Because I was reading somewhere, if you really just if you set your left on the D-pad to Torgal and not to your potions and stuff, you just spam right to make him try to keep healing you, to just keep him busy. Like so he doesn't accidentally kill them before you can do it. I've got to do that. I've got to max out everything. And what's the other one?
Boss with no damage.
Boss with no damage. So I'm to the point where you told me to do that. And I tried doing it yesterday. I died 3 times. No, I didn't die. I got hit 3 times in a row at this guy. I was like, son of a bitch. And then I'm like, okay. Then
is it like the soldier guy in the woods and he's like shooting fire? Who
just becomes a regular enemy by the end of the game.
Yeah.
Well, not even the end of the game. After that. I kill the first 2 dudes real quick, so it's just one-on-one. And then this dude always, whether I've tried the Ring of Timely Evasion, where it does the circle with the timer, and I've tried just the other one that just makes you dodge, which I don't really trust.
No, I don't either.
3 times in a row he hit me. 4th time I get him down to, I stagger him finally without getting hit. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. Do the damage, and then you get the first cinematic clash. And it's so weird that you're doing New Game Plus and it's still showing you the tutorial of what to do with cinematic clash. I'm like, bro, I just spent like 60 hours beating this game. I know what a cinematic clash is. Get through all that and everything. I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. And then I just screwed something up and he just bunk. I'm like, son of a bitch. Then I tried it again, got hit real quick. Tried again, got hit real quick. I was like, I'm walking away. I am pissed off right now. So I don't know if I'm going to get the platinum. I have to. I'm going to.
You will.
Is there any tips for this idiot? Because
honestly, when I got it, I wasn't even trying to get the trophy. It popped, and I'm like, maybe that trophy. And then I hit it, and then it said beat a boss with no damage. I'm like, oh, I was really worried about that. So,
but you did it on New Game Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't think it's bugged per se, but I did not think that I had beaten him without getting hit. I'm sure I did. I don't think it's I don't know. But the only thing I can think of is use timely evasion or whatever, where you do it, you hit the circle, and trust it. Because like I said, that's where I would usually get hit, is when I try to dodge something
without it
before that thing shows up. And it's like, if you dodge too early, that thing doesn't show, and then you're going to get hit as you're like coming out of your iframe. So it's almost like, just don't even dodge until that thing pops up, and just let it guide you. And I don't know if that it works 100% of the time, but
what fantasy draft channel? I figured that's what you meant, James, but where the hell is that?
I don't know. I look forward to it. I saw something, but it was just the old voice chat that we did.
That's what I went into that one time. I was like, whoops, I think maybe I started a conference call or something, but I don't know how to use Discord, but I don't see no fantasy chat. You guys really, did I just not get invited to my own fantasy draft channel? Is that really what happened? Is that really what happened, James?
I couldn't find it either.
So I got to do the
other thing you could do.
I almost started
really
thinking I should have done the guy that I asked you about. The first guy you fight after you fight Shiva at the very beginning.
I don't know why they said to do it on this guy. Okay. Either they think he's the easiest, or he's the first one that actually counts as a boss. Because I don't know.
Oh, maybe the first guy doesn't, because he's just a dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that I don't know. But I would at least say, well, for more than one reason, go ahead and create a manual save there, so that if you think you beat him without getting hit, and then it doesn't pop because maybe you accidentally got hit, you've got that. You haven't lost your autosave. And or if you're just getting frustrated, just screw it. Just keep going through the game. Maybe you'll randomly beat another boss at some point without taking damage, without even trying, like I did, and then you don't have to worry about it. And if not, then you'll have everything done but that, and you'll get the platinum because you won't let
that's true.
That keep you from doing it.
What was I going to say about the save stuff? What were we talking about? The trophy, the saving it. I hate when this happens, when my brain just stops working.
Bosses, damage, Final Fantasy mode.
Even the voice channels have a text feed. I don't even know what the hell you're saying, James. Why are you hitting me up on Discord when you're in the chat on YouTube? You're listening to me and you're hitting me up on Discord. This is too much technology. I don't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, so the boss thing, Shiva, can we eat someone kind of ground? The boss, don't get a hit. I don't know. I'm definitely not trusting. Oh, that's what I was just going to say. I'm not trusting the circle. What I was going to say is, I know if I get hit or not because I'm going in there with full HP. Because I've got all my high potions, I think, and then there's a high potion I pick up on the way to him, and I go from like probably 90% health back up to 100%. So
the other thing you could do, if you happen to have any, see if you have, I don't remember what they're called, but the potion that makes you temporarily stronger.
Yeah.
Use that so you're doing as much damage as you can.
Yeah, I don't need the stone skin because if I get hit, it doesn't matter.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to get the platinum. I've got nothing else to play until maybe Blasphemous. I mean, I could go back to Rogue Legacy. At this point, I'm not getting the Fallen Order or whatever it's called, the Survivor platinum. I've forgotten about that game.
I did too. I forgot you never got that.
Did you get it? You got it, right? You got it. You squeezed it out right before Zelda. Was that the next one? Or was it Resident Evil? No, Resident Evil came out before that.
I got Resident Evil right before Star Wars came out, and then I got Star Wars right before Zelda.
I don't think I'm going back to get that. But this would be my...
This would be 100, right?
98.
Or is it 99?
I'm going to make it 100.
Okay.
I've got 97, I think. So I'm going to make it 100. Trust me. Once I get to the... all I got to do is beat it on New Game Plus. Once I've got that as my only one, I'm going to go get a couple cheap platinums that I've already picked out, and it's going to be my number 100. And I almost think after that, I'm done worrying about platinums. Because it's...
You won't be. I mean, you might be.
You have flipped so hard, it is insane. You platinum everything now.
I try to.
It's crazy. It's just amazing how much better you are at games than me.
Yeah.
Or how much more dedicated you are also, I guess. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is awesome. I'm going to keep playing it. I know I can skip all the cutscenes. And I'm going to because I just want to beat New Game Plus. But there's some I'm like, no, I got to watch this. Because
there's some that... Yeah.
Like the first... After you beat Shiva, and then he's like... He goes over and he's like this, and then the guy's coming up behind him, and then I'm like, I gotta watch this because I know what's happening. This is awesome because he loves his girl, and then here comes, and then there's the good boy. Oh,
Yeah.
game's so good. Game got game. I don't know. I made that up. So that's it. Sean, do you want to get to the news of the last 2 weeks?
Not really, because I see what's number one on here.
Hey, the story that won't die may be finally coming to a close. Because, of course, the day after we recorded last time, Microsoft beat up the FTC in court. This comes from Video Games Chronicle. Microsoft has been cleared to acquire Activision Blizzard in the United States after winning its court battle with the FTC. On Tuesday, Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley of the United States District Court for Northern District of California denied the FTC's motion for a preliminary injunction. Had it been granted, the injunction would have blocked the $69 billion deal from being completed until the U.S. regulators' in-house court had a chance to rule on whether the merger hurt competition in the games industry. An update, the UK's competition watchdog has paused legal proceedings with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard with a view to reaching an agreement over the game's proposed merger after the deal was cleared in the United States. So Judge Corley said this in her ruling. Microsoft's acquisition of Activision has been described as the largest in tech history. It deserves scrutiny. That scrutiny has paid off, Microsoft has committed in writing, in public, and in court to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 10 years on parity with Xbox. Side note, Phil Spencer talked out of both sides of his mouth when it comes to Bethesda. And then when these emails come out and Pete Hines is like, what the F, dude? Why can't we put our games on PlayStation? Why are you doing this?
No.
It made an agreement with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to Switch. That blows my mind.
I don't understand. There can't be more than 10
Switch.
people
Yeah, exactly.
that are going to play Call of Duty on Switch.
And, again, you're not supposed to start a sentence with and or but. That's how good this judge was. I'm kidding. And it entered several agreements to, for the first time, bring Activision's content to several cloud gaming services. This court's responsibility in this case is narrow. It is to decide if, notwithstanding these current circumstances, the merger should be halted, perhaps even terminated, pending resolution of the FTC administrative action. For the reasons explained, the court finds the FTC has not shown a likelihood it will prevail on its claim that this particular vertical merger in the specific industry may substantially lessen competition. To the contrary, this crap is finally done. To the contrary, the record evidence points to more consumer access to Call of Duty and other Activision content. The motion for a preliminary injunction is therefore denied in caps. Phil Spencer said, "We're grateful to the court for swiftly deciding in our favor." Yeah, no shit. The evidence showed the Activision Blizzard deal is good for the industry, and the FTC's claims about console switching, multi-game subscription services, and cloud don't reflect the realities of the gaming market. So, obviously, I'm not as smart as a judge.
So, I'm glad it's done.
Yes.
I think they made the right choice. However, I get the argument that can be made that this is bad for the industry. What is the argument to be made that it's good for the industry? I feel like at best it's neutral for the industry. I don't understand how it's good for the industry.
Because the judge was basically saying, so what if eventually it can't come to PlayStation? It's good for consumers if it's on Game Pass. So, if 10 years from now it goes to Game Pass, that's good for consumers. It's good. The reason they're saying it's good for consumers is that it's going to these stupid cloud services that no one uses, like GeForce Now and whatever else. Like, okay, those might not even exist. By the way, you're bringing it to more, but then if after 10 years you do take it away from PlayStation and you've got, call it 100 million PS5 or PS6 users or whatever at that time that can no longer access it, you're not bringing it to more people. The other thing, Sony did really, they fought what they thought was a good fight. We all knew, we thought this was going to end up being the way it went. Some people are saying Sony really screwed up because all they've got now is Call of Duty sticking there. Okay. What else is there? Like, Diablo just came out. We're not going to get another Diablo for like 12 to 15 years anyways.
Yeah.
Crash, Spyro, Tony Hawk. I don't think there's like Call of Duty is really, they said that's all they cared about. And Jim Ryan said, they're stupid for buying this. They could have just got exclusivity for like 3 years for like $8 billion, not spent $70 billion to get the rest of. But a lot of people are saying the big thing they want the mobile. They want the King piece more than anything, so they can get into the mobile market and they can make money off of that. I don't know. It's the reason I say it's hopefully done. So these are some of the other things that came out. So Microsoft, there's reports coming out that they may have to give up part of their cloud gaming business in the UK to appease the CMA, and that is not the Country Music Association.
What is it?
Consumer Markets Authority. That just came to me. They have delayed their ruling by 6 weeks to August 29th. So basically what's going to happen is they're going to end up selling off some of their cloud gaming business, specifically in the UK. And that's the thing. The UK, they were all about cloud is the problem. And the cloud gaming and the access to the cloud. I'm like, why are you arguing that? Of all things, the cloud. But I heard some people, I think it was Hogue on Last Stand was saying like that's the argument the FTC should have been making, not the console stuff. I'm like, maybe I just don't understand the cloud part of this. But as I said, Microsoft has signed a binding agreement with Sony to keep Call of Duty on there for 10 years. Now, I think the one thing that nobody knows is if it's 10 years from like to 2033, or Sony, I guess, still has marketing rights.
Yeah, is it an additional
until
10
2025?
years?
So does it go until 2035? Either way, I can't imagine I'm going to care. If I'm 53 years old playing Call of Duty, God bless me, I definitely won't be playing multiplayer. But so I don't know when it actually starts or when it finishes. Also, if you remember, there was a gamer lawsuit brought by video gamers in California trying to block the deal. The Supreme Court was like, "Get the fuck out of here! Why are we even entertaining this?" Like, and that just makes it seem like it's a joke. Why would you even? First off, you have to be the fanboyest of fanboys to try and sue Microsoft.
Yeah.
To say, this is not fair. You're taking Call of Duty away from PlayStation. I don't like this. How it even became... What lawyer took that case? I guess he's saying, if there's even a 1% chance that I can get my ass paid out of this, then we got to take it as a realistic...
Absolute certainty.
Absolute certainty. Hope Microsoft pulls a quick one, Sony, and pulls all Activision products from PlayStation Store. Here's what I'll say. Oh, yeah, and the merger deadline, actually, because the merger, they could have closed this on July 18th, I think it was, or whatever that Monday, or the 17th, whatever that Monday was. That was the deadline. If they couldn't get it done by then, Microsoft was going to have to pay Activision $3 billion. People that weekend were like, they might just be like, Activision might just be like, you know what? We're not going to close this deal yet. Give us the $3 billion, and actually, we want you to pay $75 billion or $80 billion, whatever for it, which is way more than they're worth also. But anyways,
so
yes, go.
The thing that I don't get, I mean, I do, in the end, I get it, because it's Microsoft, and like you said, they can print money.
Yes, they do print money.
Sony, look, Uncharted, Spider-Man, Wolverine eventually, The Last of Us, God of War... Uncharted. Maybe Horizon. I think that was the first one I said.
God of War.
These are, maybe not to everybody, but at least to some people, are system sellers. People will buy
Horizon.
a PS5 to play these titles. Mm-hmm. For Microsoft, Call of Duty, yes. If that was only going to be on Xbox, there are definitely people out there that will buy an Xbox to play Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. Other than Call of Duty, I don't think they have any system sellers right now.
Spyro or Crash? Crash 5 is not going to sell Xboxes.
And so all they're going to do is just have more titles on Game Pass, which, for the love of God... Who has an Xbox right now that does not already have a Game Pass?
We'll talk about that here in a second.
That does not have Game Pass.
Right.
And I mean,
who buys
there
games
might
on
be
Xbox?
some people that are going to buy an Xbox just because it has Game Pass. But anybody that was going to do that, I feel like probably already has. And you don't even need to have an Xbox to have Game Pass. I just don't understand what this really accomplishes for them. I know they think we'll sell more Game Pass subscriptions. But like, and maybe that's it. What I said was everybody that has Xbox probably already has Game Pass, and that may be true. I guess their hope is that people that don't have an Xbox, not that they'll buy an Xbox to get Game Pass, they'll just get Game Pass for PC to be able to play all these games. But like, you got to sell a lot more subscriptions to make up that $70 billion.
That's true. I mean, I know everything isn't on Game Pass, so I get that. But like, the system seller they had, Halo, they done effed it up.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I said this, but the deadline's now extended to October 18th. So this still isn't technically done.
Oh, and so I guess what I was getting at and never really got there was, even if Call of Duty is the only thing that is not exclusive to Xbox, they're only shooting themselves in the foot. If PlayStation and Switch are 1 and 2 in some order, I guess Switch is number 1 by a long shot, in terms of market share, Xbox is already third place, and even 90% of people that have an Xbox are not going to buy these titles because or if they're on Game Pass. So all these titles, they're not going to sell 100,000 of any game ever. Ever.
Any first-party game,
and
no.
And especially if they keep it exclusive to Xbox. So I don't understand what they would have to gain by making it exclusive.
Hi, Liza. I don't know, but she might not be back in time. You might just have to go to bed, okay? I know you want to swim. Right now I'm podcasting, though, okay? I love you. Okay. Go watch your show.
I love you. Okay.
I know you do, sweetie. I think I read somewhere or heard somewhere on a podcast or something that Activision made last fiscal year $2 billion in profit. Sounds awesome. Microsoft just paid 35 times that amount. So 35 years it's going to take to pay off. Like, this doesn't make sense. Only Microsoft could do this. Like, it's crazy.
And that $2 billion in profit's going to go way down if people can play Call of Duty for free. So.
But now, then Colin was saying, like, I think he was saying very definitively, and I've not heard this anywhere else, so I don't know if this is true, that Call of Duty cannot come to Game Pass for 2 more years. Something about the deal with Sony and the marketing rights and everything. I'm like, but marketing rights, but that doesn't mean they can't just put it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't know what would stop
Unless
them.
there's something that Activision signed that said, through 2025, we will guarantee you that this game will not come to Xbox. I mean, to Game Pass. I don't know.
But now that they own them, like, they bought the bank. Like,
right.
I don't get it.
Here's the one thing I'll say about this. A lot of people have been cheering Xbox on. Yay, Xbox. Good for you. You bought Activision. Awesome. And I get that Activision was run by Bobby Kotick and he's a jackass and all that. I get that. But people that are like applauding this and are so happy that like Xbox won and they got Activision. I want all those people to keep that same energy when/if Sony buys Square Enix and or Capcom and or Sega and or Bandai Namco and or Koei Tech, whatever they do. It'll probably be a Japanese company. If they buy Square Enix, which I think would actually be pretty stupid because they're getting every Final Fantasy game anyways.
Right, there's no point.
But if they end up buying them, I hope you keep that same energy and you're very happy that PlayStation bought them. Because otherwise, I don't understand. If you don't keep the same energy, you're just a fanboy.
Yeah.
I didn't want this deal to go through, and I don't want... Oh, Capcom. That's who I was forgetting.
You said
Sony
Capcom.
buys... I did say Capcom?
Yeah. You didn't say Konami.
Konami won't sell because they're barely in... I know, Metal Gear Solid Delta. What a stupid name. Whatever. I don't care. It's going to be awesome, I hope. Capcom, they're not as big as Activision. I care a billion times more about Capcom than I do Activision. If Sony buys Capcom, I can't wait to see what the same people that were cheering on Xbox say about that. You better keep that same energy.
They won't.
And Sony's being forced basically to do this. Like at some point, I don't think the next deal they do is going to be a Bungie type of deal. Where they just say, we're buying them, but really we just want the revenue from them. They're not part of PlayStation Studios. They're going to put Matterfall or whatever it's called. That's not what it's called. Marathon's coming to everything. Destiny 2 staying on everything. When Destiny 3 comes out, it'll be on everything. Cool. Whoever they buy, I don't think they're going to do that. I think it'll be like, hey, Street Fighter 7, PlayStation exclusive. Resident Evil 9 and 10, PlayStation exclusive. Like, you wanted this future where companies are buying stuff. If it's something like Capcom and you've got an Xbox, you're not going to be very happy, I don't think.
Yeah.
It smells like haterade in here. It's not haterade. I think acquisitions are bad for the industry. I still don't. Why spend $3 billion on Bungie? Why spend and to just come in and be like, Naughty Dog, you don't know how to make factions. Screw you guys. Like, I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they buy Capcom, y'all better be cheering. Next up, Xbox Live Gold is going away. In September, it will become Game Pass Core. So now, let's say Game Pass had 40 million, whatever it is, 43 million subscribers. Guess what? In September, now they've got 55 million or 60 million or whatever the F it is. So like, wow, I cannot wait. Like when the quarter numbers come out after this happens and they're like, our Game Pass subscriptions increased to 60 million. I'm like, no shit. You just
you changed the name.
You just called it Game Pass. So Xbox Live Gold, no hate, only praise for the purchase and hope it's no longer part of the news cycle.
Yeah, I'm just ready to move on from it.
I hope this doesn't take. That's the other thing. Sorry, one more thing. I hope it doesn't take till October for this to finally be done. Sign the deal, be done with it. What do you still talk to the UK? Be like, yeah, we'll get rid of this cloud, whatever. We've got money. We don't care. Just take it. Fine. Are we done? Cool. Sign it. Done. So it's going to be the same price as Xbox Live Gold. Live Gold is going to, as I just said, automatically roll into being Game Pass Core. So now we've got Game Pass Core, we've got Xbox Game Pass,
but
PC Game Pass, and Game Pass Ultimate.
Okay, I'm not an Xbox guy, so enlighten me as an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Gold was $10 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's Core, which is $10 a month. What did that get you?
Online multiplayer and 2 awesome free games a month.
Okay. And how much do you have to pay to get actual like Game Pass?
It was $10 a month. Now it's $11 a month.
That is dumber.
But I think. But wait,
than
I don't think
buying games on Xbox is to pay $10 a month for this when you could have Game Pass for $11.
Wait, no, I think that James or John, help me out. I think that the base Game Pass did not include online multiplayer. So you would have to get Ultimate, which was 15 and is now 18, I think. I think that's the difference. So yes,
you get all the games, but you can't play online?
You can't play them online. Free stuff, like I believe, again, I'm Mr. Xbox. I believe the free stuff like Fortnite and Apex and Warzone and all that, I think you could play them online without gold. Because I think on PlayStation you can play them online without PS Plus. But I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Reference to y'all pointing out that I buy games on Xbox. Oh, I didn't point that out. I thought I was getting yelled at. Where was I? Okay. The good thing, you will get online multiplayer still, and you will get access to 25 games on Game Pass that include Doom Eternal, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, and other games. So you get access to 25 Game Pass games. I'm just assuming they're all first party, and that's good. The monthly games with gold is ending. Any games you previously claimed will still be available. I will say this. I'm going to miss every month just being like, who do you think won, Sean? And it's like, Xbox has 2 games no one's ever heard of, and PlayStation's like, here's Call of Duty and Alan Wake. And it's like, well, yeah, I guess PlayStation won.
Yeah.
We've been saying forever that the games with gold had to go away because they were garbage.
There's no point.
They were beyond bad. They were horrible. So they're finally dead. And I wrote down here my note, which I already said. That's one way to make Game Pass look better is to just make these people Game Pass. Like, I don't know. It's just hilarious to me, and I cannot wait for that first report that says, wow, our Game Pass subscriptions increased by 30%. Like, well, sure, yeah. And the funny thing about this, as I'm just thinking about this now, the timing with this is interesting. I wonder if one of those 25 games will be Starfield. Because that's September 8th or something like that. I don't know. I doubt it will be, but I got to think they're going to get a big, maybe not a big bump. Because again, if you have Xbox, why do you not have Game Pass? But I got to assume they're going to get a bump when Starfield comes out.
Well, I would like to know, and they would never say because they want to paint themselves into a corner, but like a lot of stuff hinges on Starfield.
Okay, wait. John says in the chat, James, you have the only photo evidence of anyone purchasing a physical copy of an Xbox game. All right, continue.
Xbox, I'm not saying everything hinges on Starfield, but
a lot.
Starfield has to hit.
It has to be
just like we said Halo had
95 Metacritic.
Starfield has to hit, and this Activision thing also needs to. I mean, Call of Duty is always, people are going to buy it, play it at least, no matter what. But I'm wondering, between those two things, what would they consider, since selling the games is not very important, clearly. Because nobody but James is. I'm just kidding, James. But I wonder what percent or total number, whatever, of increases to Game Pass subscriptions would be a success for them. Do they think that because they purchase Activision, they're gonna like double their Game Pass subscriptions? Like, I would just be curious, like, if it goes up like 10%, not counting the gold stuff.
If it goes up by a real,
is that a win?
Right.
20%, 50%. Like, I wonder what it needs to go up, and almost no matter how much, regardless of how much it goes up, you ain't recouping that $70 billion.
That's what the thing I just will never understand is that, like, if Xbox was a separate business from Microsoft, they couldn't buy Activision, and they probably would have gone out of business if they did the Game Pass thing.
Yeah.
Now, I almost think, I wrote this into Sacred Symbols one time, Colin didn't read it, but I was like, I wonder, as a thought experiment, and I think, actually, we might have talked about this on here, or I might have just told you, I don't know. I think it was 6 years ago that they announced Game Pass. It was like March of 2017, I think. If they didn't do that, and they kept the status quo, you just buy games on Xbox, if you want Halo Infinite, you got to pay $70, whatever. If there was no Game Pass, would Xbox still be around? Or would Microsoft have just said, you know what, the hell with this. This is not worth it. We don't do, who cares? We don't need this. Like, I just wonder, I don't think they would have gone away because at the end of the day, they still got Microsoft's money backing them.
Right, yeah.
I just wonder what would have happened. I don't think they'd be as popular as they are now if they didn't have Game Pass. I think that's a given. But I just wonder, like, as a thought experiment, what could have happened, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's really it for the news. Let's get to the wrap-up. Sean? As of today, Modern Warfare 3 has leaked via a Monster Energy ad. Now, I'm confused because Modern Warfare 2 came out last year. I thought the reports were saying that we were just going to get more Modern Warfare 2 this year. If we're getting Modern Warfare 3, that means it's not Infinity Ward making it. It means it's one of the other Sledgehammer or Raven or whatever. Modern Warfare has always been Infinity Ward. So that's weird. It's also weird. We've never gotten a sequel to a Call of Duty, a direct sequel to a Call of Duty game the next year after, like, Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4. You know, like, so that's weird. But now I'm like, I know I went 1, 2, 4. I'm just saying, because I was trying to say World at War, and then I was trying to say Modern Warfare, because Call of Duty 4 was Modern Warfare, and I got all screwed in my head, but I knew why you were but now I'm kind of pissed because I'm like, damn it, I love Modern Warfare 2. I don't want to spend $70 on Call of Duty again. I should just get Game Pass.
Just get Game Pass for like a month and then cancel it.
I'll be interested to see if it really does. Oh, and they said Diablo 4 is not coming to Game Pass. So I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, that's smart. I mean, you got to sell games somewhere, but
I've been thinking about if part of me wants to get Diablo 4, and I don't know why. Because when I got Diablo 3, I was like, I'm
intrigued by it, but I've never gotten into Diablo. I'm sure there's been huge strides since I played Diablo 2 like
Is GameFly
25
still a
years
thing?
ago. I don't think so. Maybe?
Is Redbox, do they still do games? It'd be cool.
Is Redbox even a thing anymore?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I'm sure it's evolved a lot, but like when I think of Diablo, I think of a mouse and let me go click on this guy and click and hold. My guy walks up and then goes, huh, 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 huh. All right, and go click on that guy. Huh, 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 huh. Okay. Like, I'm just like, oh, God. I'm tempted by it, but like, I don't.
I also, to be fair, I haven't watched any gameplay or anything.
No, I
Diablo
haven't
4.
either.
So I
Yeah.
don't even know why I think I want it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Call of Duty, speaking of, 2024 is rumored to be a new Black Ops game set during the Gulf War. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Black Ops 1 is still the best, my favorite Call of Duty campaign.
What were they up to? 4?
They got to Black Ops 4, which was multiplayer only, yeah. But then they did Black Ops Cold War, so they kind of
that's true.
rebooted it.
Yeah.
And I think they brought back some of the characters. I bought that because I didn't get it for Christmas, and I spent $70 on it. And then I was like, well, this is stupid. I never even beat it. I ended up deleting it. I was like, well, that was a waste of $70. Modern Warfare 2, though, I loved.
Warfare.
Evan Wells, the co-president of Naughty Dog, has retired after 25 years with the company. I'm worried about my boy, Neil Druckmann. This dude has way too much on his plate. So now he's the president of Naughty Dog by himself. He's clearly working on The Last of Us Part 3. He's obviously working on Season 2 of The Last of Us whenever the strike gets settled. He's obviously at least overseeing somewhat or producing or something when it comes to whatever Factions is, if it's still happening.
Plus Last of Us Part 2 remake.
Okay, thank you for... Wait, did I not
That's why I looked briefly. I'm like, I don't see it on
I thought I
here.
wrote it down. Okay, well, also, there's a new... Wait, no, I get it. I put it somewhere.
I don't see it.
Gustavo Santaolalla hints at a new version of Last of Us 2 coming.
There it is.
Thank you. So, also, really? You're going to put out a remake? This is worse than Horizon Zero Dawn getting a remake. That game's at least 6 years old. This game's 3 years old. Are we serious right now? Really? Really?
I mean, it's one of the best games of all time.
It is categorically not. Also,
maybe they'll retcon it.
It never got a PS5 patch, right?
I don't think so.
I can't remember if it just ran better on PS5 or not. That game already was a technical masterpiece. I don't know how you can make that game look any better. Now, you can just make it 4K 60. I doubt it'll hit that, though. It'd probably be 1080 60, whatever. But
Yeah.
Redbox is still around. There's a dusty one outside my grocery store. Okay, I got to find one and see if it's got Diablo 4. Yeah, I just worry that Neil Druckmann... I think he's lost his mind after what he decided to do with The Last of Us Part 2 and how he decided to lie to everybody with the trailers and everything. And he thought he was Kojima, and he was a knockoff.
I don't understand. I don't think it's an issue with the like that just means you can never do anything.
They literally changed the scene where they show in the trailer Joel come up behind her, put his hand over her mouth, bring her back, and then be like, "Baby girl, you expect me to let you do this on your own?" That's not in the game. It's
but they do things like that, and like
does that. It's a completely different character.
But they do that in like Endgame trailer where they like CGI somebody out of the shot.
Out.
They changed it. They lied. They said, "Hey, nobody else is right there," and then you watch it. Oh, somebody is right there.
Also, why was
Spider-Man?
it a big deal that
No
Pepper
Way
Potts
Home
was there?
They're like, "We'll show one Spider-Man." And then
Well,
the
CGI
bad guy's getting knocked by
getting punched
nothing.
by nothing.
So it's like, I mean, you have to be able to. I don't know. I'm okay with the trailer thing. You can not like the way they went with the story, but I'm okay
the way
with.
they went with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Fucking game.
Especially when your boy Kojima started this whole thing. I don't know that anybody ever did any kind of bait and switch before Kojima with Metal Gear Solid 2.
Nothing on that level for sure.
I mean, to that level, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he actually pulled it off with one of the I still cannot believe that game just predicted the future. But anyways, also speaking of The Last of Us, the HBO show landed the second most Emmy nominations with 24.
That's awesome.
That is crazy. Oh, I can't wait to see what they do for season 2. Don't just make a new story. Don't do that fucking bullshit ass story.
Would you rather see Pedro win or Odenkirk?
Odenkirk.
I think I would too, because
he's never won for it.
Well, neither is Pedro.
I don't care. I've been with Bob. I've been with Saul for however many years.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this is the last, not his last chance, but
this is last chance for Saul. And Kim Wexler, did she get nominated? Ray?
I don't know if she did. I feel like she didn't, which seems weird.
She got nominated for the first half of the season and didn't win. They both got nominated and didn't win. I'm like, what do you people want?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, we got some new story details, a new story trailer. We got our first look at Venom. I didn't watch any of it. Did you?
I didn't want to, but I did. I'm now back to not like crazy hype, but like there's a period where I'm like, I'm going to get this game almost certainly day one, but it's just almost out of habit. I almost feel like I need to, and FOMO and whatever. But I wasn't even really looking forward to it that much. I've come back around. I'm definitely looking forward to this game.
The reason I didn't want to watch it was because with the first Spider-Man, we had a billion trailers for it, and I felt like they gave away way too much. Well, they did give away way too much. We knew that the Mr. Negative stuff wasn't like. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But I felt like they gave away too much, and I was worried that this was going to give away too much. Have we seen Peter's face in this yet?
In this, you do.
And it's the new face?
Yeah. But he looks better. He looks better. MJ looks better. Miles looks better.
Swear to God. Just let me play as Pete and Miles. I don't want to play as MJ in this freaking game.
Well, I don't know that you play
I've got
as
two
her,
Spider...
but...
No, I know. I'm just saying. I've got two Spider-Men. I don't need to play as Mary Jane. Duh. Rah. Also, there's a Spider-Man 2 limited PS5 console and a DualSense coming out as well.
Also, I was just watching... they're doing a marathon, I think. But before I came over, FX was showing... I saw Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, and then they went to Amazing Spider-Man. So I'm guessing they're just doing a marathon of everything. 2, awesome. 3, I think it's just become cool to hate on that movie. It's not great. I don't know that I wouldn't even. I don't know that I can say it's not good. There's some weird.
It's weird.
It's weird.
All the emo Toby stuff and the dancing,
but it's supposed to be
Topher
weird.
Grace is not
Topher Grace. Well, that's what I was gonna say. First of all, the emo Toby stuff and the dancing and the finger guns. It's supposed to be weird. Like that's not him. It's not like.
Why would Venom? But make him go.
Because he's, I don't know, he's cocky and whatever. But like
Tom Hardy didn't do that. He was like, I will shit out your brains and eat your nuts or whatever.
But what I was going to say is, in my mind, Venom in that movie looked like Tom Hardy's Venom. And he doesn't. He just looks like Spider-Man. Like, he's not big, hulking Venom. He's like...
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit bigger than Spider-Man. But like, he's like skinny Venom. And it looks weird. And in my mind, that's not what he looked like. But it's not.
The one movie out of all of them that gets a completely bad rap is Amazing Spider-Man 1.
I never saw 2, but I remember liking 1.
1 was really good. And Andrew Garfield, as everybody knows now, was friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
2 was just, they tried to do too much. They were trying to set up Sinister Six. 1 got a bad rap because it was like, we're rebooting. It's like remaking Horizon Zero Dawn. Like,
right, wasn't it like
this?
3 years after 3 or something?
I think it was 3 years. Yeah. I think it was 2007 to 2010 because it was 2000, 2002, 2000, or was it 2002?
No, it was like 2001 or 2002.
2007. Yeah, it was like 3 years after it or something.
Because 1 came out it came out right after 9/11, and they had to reshoot. They had to change. So it was probably 02. It was probably like 02, 04, 07, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah.
I don't know. What are we talking? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Spidey. Yeah, maybe I'll watch it. So is Venom cool looking in this?
Yeah.
But they don't show... Did they show his human form?
No.
Okay, good.
I don't know...
Because remember, they said it's not Eddie Brock.
Right, yeah. No, but you see Venom. No, I think you should watch. It doesn't... I don't think it really gives anything away. And I think it'll make you... It's not like that Tears of the Kingdom trailer or gameplay or whatever it was that made us both come around.
Like, okay, I'm in. Yeah.
It's not to that level, but I think...
That was the gameplay one.
Yeah, I think it will get you more hyped.
Okay.
I would watch it.
Okay. Square Enix has come out and said that they consider Final Fantasy XVI's launch sales of $3 million to be, quote, extremely strong. As I said last time, I was wrong, thinking that Final Fantasy 15 was only on PS4. So it's selling $5 million, and then this selling $3 million when it's only on PS5, and there's 33 million out there, whatever it is. Basically, 1 out of every 10 bought it. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're happy. Resident Evil 4 Remake has hit 5 million units sold. The series as a whole is now up to 142 million units sold. Still, all combined, nowhere near as much as Grand Theft Auto 5. I just like whenever I see one of these series stats, I'm like, yeah, but Grand Theft Auto 5. Also, I was reading that it's the quickest selling Resident Evil to get to 5 million since 2009, which was 5. 2009 seems way too late for 5, though. Well, no, because 4 was 2005, right? So maybe that's right then.
No.
Or 4 was 04?
It was 04 or 05. So yeah, 5 was probably... I would have guessed like 07 or 08, but I mean 09 doesn't sound...
Oh, it was
crazy.
It was probably... I think it came out... Maybe it came out in 07 and it got to 5 million in 09. Whatever it was, it's the fastest since that.
Yeah.
The PS5 Access controller officially is out on December 6th for $90. I thought this thing was going to cost a lot more. I just assumed it was going to be like $150 to $200.
Yeah.
I still don't understand it. It seems like the Xbox, the adaptive controller makes a lot more sense when I try to visualize it, but I'm glad it's there.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1's first DLC pack has been officially unveiled, and it includes Quan Chi, Omni-Man. I don't know who that is.
He's the bad guy. He's... what's his name from... Hear me out. Get me Spider-Man. That was not a good impression. What's his name? J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
But the actor
who I can't remember his name now, Jim Gordon in Justice League.
The State Farm guy.
Yeah. What is wrong with me? What the frick is his name?
Anyway, he's from
Homelander?
No, the cartoon with the blue and yellow guy. Invincible. He's the bad guy from that.
Spider-Man 3, 2007. Okay.
There we go. But he's voiced by that guy, and he basically, it looks like they just
Amazing
drew
Spider-Man
him. He looks just like him.
Okay. So it's 5 years. But still, that's still shorter than remaking Horizon Zero Dawn. Anyways, so Omni-Man.
Yeah, but they probably announced that it was getting remade like 3 years after.
2009.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's who Omni-Man is.
Ermac Takeda. Who is he?
That I don't know.
Okay. Peacemaker.
That's
it's
awesome.
Straight up John Cena.
Yes.
And Homelander. Have you watched The Boys? I forget.
I watched like when it first started, the first episode, and maybe only... I didn't watch more than like 2 or 3, and it literally may have just been 1.
People say it's so good, but I'm like, is it just good because it's violent?
I think that's what... Like, it was good, but I mean, it didn't hook me, so...
Yeah. So that's the first DLC pack. Insomniac, it looks like they are working on a third game besides Wolverine and Spider-Man 2, because they just released a video from back in September of last year. A talk by one of the directors at Insomniac was at Full Sail University, and he let slip that there's a third game they're working on.
So this just reminded me, like a few... I assume we talked about it.
My guess is Rivet.
It probably would have been last episode, 2 weeks ago.
Rivet and Bonk.
Because the previous one would have been 4 weeks ago, and I think that was too long. The Black Panther game that got announced.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, I'm like, didn't we already know this? And it was because I just now realized that was the Captain America and Black Panther game. So we've got a Captain
is that
America.
still happening?
As far as I know.
Oh yeah, and that's set in like World War I or something.
So we've got a Captain America and Black Panther game, and then just a Black Panther game.
Yeah.
But 2 totally different studios. Like, these are not, other than just the same character, they're not related. Like, that just seems so weird to me. Unless maybe the one is no longer happening.
I tried to type too fast, and I wrote Black Panther. The game will be an action-adventure game developed by Skydance. So this... Okay, Skydance.
But who's Skydance? Like, what else? What do they do?
They make movies, But this is Skydance New Media. I think this might be where, this is where Amy Hennig ended up.
Okay.
So yeah, there's 2 Black Panther games.
But yeah, I was very confused because everybody was like, "Oh, Black Panther game." Like, I was pretty sure we already knew about this, but I was thinking, which I totally forgot, that it was a Captain America / Black Panther game. But that just made me think of it.
So yeah, it's either another Ratchet game or it's Rivet or 4.
That would be cool.
You never played the games. Resistance is what I mean.
But they need some
Just
kind
put out
of...
the trilogy with updated controls. Come on, man. Like,
yeah.
Resistance 1 was okay. If you could just play those games with updated control, you had to click in the stick to aim.
That's almost as bad as Metal Gear Solid 3. And having to push a face button down halfway somehow to pull your gun out and push it the rest of the way to fire. Like,
yeah.
I did not know those buttons were even pressure sensitive. I didn't know you could do that, but
I'm so interested to see what's going to end up happening with the Master Collection, how they're going to get around that. But they got around it on Vita. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
So yeah, it's probably a Ratchet or a Rivet game. My wish would be Resistance or a Resistance trilogy.
Yeah.
Tencent just announced today they're now the majority shareholder of Techland. That's going to piss Colin off. He loves his Dying Light. Well, he's not going to like it anymore. Techland is retaining the IP ownership and creative freedom separate from Tencent. Star Wars Outlaws. We got some details on this game. I forget. Is this game coming out this year or is this is next year?
I think it's
right?
next year.
Okay. So they revealed there's 4 planets, and they imply that there will be a 5th. Each planet is supposedly comparable in size to 2 or 3 zones in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either because
is that
it
big?
was like open.
Is that small?
It was pretty open, except
James, are you still here?
Yeah, James.
How big is 2 or 3 zones in Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
Because I played Odyssey's the one I played. I didn't play Origin. I played Odyssey for 10, 15 hours. But I just remember.
And how
like
would you
open.
say that compares to like a planet in Jedi Survivor?
Right. They are handcrafted worlds. They're not procedurally generated. I don't even know why they talked about that. You're going to a planet. This is not some roguelike game. Like, what are we talking about? Why would it be procedurally generated? And there are set areas for taking off and landing your ships. And I had it confused with the Black Panther DLC for Avengers. That's what I was going to say too. That's what I was going to say too.
I forgot about that.
So yeah, I don't know. Jurassic Park collection of the 8-bit and 16-bit games was announced coming out September 1st. The Genesis games are not in this. It's Game Boy, NES,
I was
going to
say,
Nintendo.
who asked for this?
I have no idea. The games all suck. We showed that when we did the Versus episode.
Yeah, I remember the Genesis ones being good, not great. They're pretty terrible.
They're horrible.
But like, why do we need this? I mean, we don't need this.
I didn't even know until I saw this. I didn't even know it had a Game Boy version. I didn't know.
Is it kind of like the Super Nintendo one? Like top
it's side
down?
scrolling. It's a side-scrolling shooter from what I saw in one screenshot.
Wow.
Also, why are we just murdering dinosaurs? They didn't ask to be brought back. Also, we're getting a Gex trilogy. Now, is it Gex or is it Jex? I think it's Gex.
I think it's Gex, just like GIF.
Jif. Gerudo.
Giraffics?
No, dumbass. It doesn't matter. The guy that created it said it's Jif. He likes peanut butter. Wait, so is it Gerudo? What? Because the game tells us. Is it Gerudo or Garudo? I can't remember now.
Whatever they say in Tears of the Kingdom is the opposite of what I used to think. But
so
now
I think
don't
they
remember.
say Garudo, and we both said Gerudo, I think. Because I think I made fun of you for not saying
Yeah,
Gerudo.
I used to say Gerudo, but
Yeah.
I guess it's Garudo. Yeah. Yeah, it's Garudo. Like GIF.
I just realized I hadn't done one in a while. I'm going to try to catch you off guard with it. Xbox today announced, I don't understand what's happening.
I did not know that this was legit.
I was like, what? Is this April 1st? They announced the world's first ever pizza-scented, Star Wars Outlaws is 2024. The world's first ever pizza-scented controller in collaboration with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the new movie. I'm excited for that movie, but still, I'm like, why?
Not.
I don't know why.
I wish I was, but I'm
why
not.
is April like? Why does everything just have to be different to be different? Like, also, Shredder's not in it. I confirmed that with Bernardo. He said maybe post credits, who knows? But like,
I feel like everybody does this. Like, and it's not to say it's a bad movie, but like Batman Begins. It's like, let's get Batman out there. We'll get Joker for the next one. And then like even the newer Ninja Turtles, even though it had Shredder, it just felt like weird. And then in the next one,
because
like,
he was a
Bebop
robot,
and Rocksteady.
yeah.
Like, we'll
Throw
do it right for
everybody.
the second
Yeah.
one. And I feel like they always do this. It's like, no, we'll keep Shredder out of this one just so we can tease it for the second one.
The
Also-
Batman did that.
That too, yeah. Also, unrelated.
I don't know why I just yelled so loud. Sorry.
Thinking about Spider-Man again. I feel like now we still don't know what it means, and I think it was kind of just an Easter egg and didn't really mean a whole lot. But the Venom 2 post-credit scene, that was so beautifully done. And I can't, like, I almost wish I
I
didn't have
can't
that.
even remember what it is now.
He's watching TV and Tom Holland shows up. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like, are they really going to... And we knew that multiverse was happening, so we're like, are they finally going to
But they're
come
not
together?
doing anything.
But I don't think they are, yeah. But now, I'm hoping that Venom, I don't know, give us Spidey 3.
Oh,
with
Rasad
Garfield.
sent me a link today that Spider-Man 4 might be happening now with Sam Raimi and not Andrew, Toby. It came from Dexerdo or whatever, however you say that website, which is pretty legit. So I'm like,
I would rather
What
have
the
Spidey
hell?
3 with Andrew.
he's 15 years. That's what I said. I'd rather
do
have
both.
AS3.
Like-
Well, just put them both in a movie.
yeah,
Who cares?
figure it out.
It's a hard G because it's short for gecko. Oh yeah, duh. Gex the gecko. We've heard this before.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the description,
Jex the Gecko.
I think the planets will be about the planet size of a large planet in Jedi Survivor.
Okay, so
that's pretty good.
That's, yeah.
So yeah, there's a controller that smells like pizza. Why anybody? The whole.
Why would you
gamers
want
are
a
already
controller-
gross. Why would you want a controller like your controller?
Because then your hands are going to smell like pizza.
Eliza got freaking chocolate in my D-pad on one of my dual senses. I'm like, what the frick were you eating? I don't know how to like. Can you take apart a DualSense? I assume you can, but I'm like, there's chocolate like in the deep. Remind me to show you when we go downstairs. I'm like, God Almighty. PS Plus extra games were announced for July, including It Takes Two, Sniper Elite 5, World War Z, Undertale, as Sean said, SnowRunner, SpongeBob, Dynasty Warriors 9.
You don't have a
I didn't
comma
have
there.
That's an awesome
SnowRunner,
name. SnowRunner, SpongeBob. That could be a band name. Dynasty Warriors 9, Samurai Warriors 5, The Fast and the Furious, My Little Pony, and more. You know what I realized? I looked up the other day because I forgot that other Peppa Pig game came out and it does have a platinum. It's $40. I am like, I'm not doing that for the platinum. If it's on sale for $10 at some point, fine. 40, I looked because I thought it was going to be 20 and I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
40. What the hell?
Wow. First one was 20, right?
It was 20 or 25, yeah. And then PS Plus Premium for July, Gravity Crash Portable, which I've never heard of, Twisted Metal and Twisted Metal 2. Obviously, they're trying to get people excited for that show. I'm not.
I'm not either.
Good for Samoa Joe and good for Will Arnett. That is such a weird combination. Samoa Joe.
Will Arnett's voice coming out of Samoa Joe's body.
Sanoa Moa. Imagine if you just saw Sanoa Moa's face, but he sounded like Will Arnett. That would be mind-blowing. Sanoa Moa. I love Sanoa Moa Joa.
We gotta cut. I didn't get much sleep.
That's it for this episode of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank y'all so much for being here. John, Derek, let me know about a bonus episode. If not, Sean and I have an idea. We'll do it next week. But until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing. Sonoma.